In order for you to become an engaging speaker, please avoid pure download. Tip number 5, always execute a two-way session. When I say two-way session, it's not just you who's the hero of the story. The other heroes of the story are the audience members as well. So what do I mean by two-way streets? Whenever we do sessions online, it's either A, we get feedback by asking them questions or giving them quizzes, or number 2, we manage their attention without talking to them. They submit their attention to us. And in online sessions, we can do this through the following ways. Number 1, you can do an activity, a contest, a group work, an icebreaker, a poll. If you're using Microsoft Teams, WebEx, or Zoom, you can do breakout sessions. Anything that is new, anything that is not experienced yet by the audience will always tickle their imagination and their attention. So if you can, incorporate them in your sessions. Another one is a Q&A. Everyone loves a good Q&A because they want to challenge you. They want to clarify. They are interested to know more if they didn't understand something about your talk. Number 3, someone mentioned this a while ago, a break or a pause. So a typical break, I'm sure you've seen my anatomy of my webinars right now. If you look at my webinar, every 15 minutes, either I do an online contest, I do an exclamation mark request, or number 3, I will call out a participant and highlight her comment and talk something about that comment. Right? I may not be pausing, but for the participants, that's an example of pause. Because that means I am not downloading you too many things and bombarding you with too much information in the short amount of time. I'm letting you to recharge. I'm letting you to recover. Okay? And finally, number 4, an assessment is also another way of making people interested. So I mentioned a while ago, knowledge check or test. An assessment can also be a feedback form that you give to your participants. Here's one example of what I do, and let's look at examples of activities. John, when I say activity, can you give me some ways of doing that? So I said a while ago, a poll, which I've been doing every 5 or 10 minutes. Annotation on the screen. I talked about how you should not allow people to annotate, but if you're advanced and good enough, if you know how to click the buttons, you can enable annotation and then disable it again if you don't need it. But the point about annotation, aka scribbling, is that it gives novelty. If you're a teacher and if you allow your kids to scribble on screen, they love it. You get their attention because they feel like they're playing around. Another example of annotation is instead of people asking them a poll and making them type their answers, you ask them to encircle a portion of the screen. That's also novel. That's also more exciting than your boring type your answer in the chat box, right? I'm using Facebook Live, so unfortunately, I cannot ask you to annotate, but you can do annotations on WebEx, Microsoft Teams, and also Zoom. Third one is a breakout. Okay, so can I get the letter B if you have already experienced a breakout session in your Zoom or Microsoft Teams or WebEx meetings? Okay. If you are a trainer or a teacher, this is non-negotiable. You need to know how to execute a breakout session also. And then number 4, participant does a live call. Here's what I do. So when I can't do it on Facebook Live because of logistical reasons, but on Zoom or Microsoft Teams, whenever I invite people for a Q&A, I don't just ask them to type in the chat box. I proactively ask them, please, you can turn on your microphone and you can do a live question. We want to see your face. We want to listen to your voice. We want to see your body language, right? That's novelty during the session. It's going to get attention of the participants. And number 5, no-brainer. I do this a lot. You enjoy it a lot in my sessions also, an online contest. Can I get an exclamation mark if you agree that my webinars will relatively be more boring if it weren't for the online contests? Do you agree? Right? I'm sure you agree. I think our webinars every Tuesday and Thursday or Friday are more exciting because we give away prizes, something that people look forward to. Yes? Okay. Coolness. All right. So here's one more example. So here's a sample screenshot of a feedback form, because asking for feedback is also a way of interaction. So what do? After your webinar, after your training session, you show a QR code, you show the link, and then you tell, your feedback also matters to us. Please scan the QR code to evaluate how you find the speaker, how you find the session.